Hi guys! Hello my ArtPandasTique viewers, welcome back to my channel. So in this video, we're going to talk about hamster bath. Hamster sand. Alright, so we're going to talk about what is the safe hamster sand that you can provide for a hamster. So this video was supposed to be the first video that I should be uploading, but since it actually is very informative, I needed to make sure that everything that I have here is visual for you guys to see, so that you'll be able to realize that how picking hamster sand for your hamster is very important for you to do as a hamster owner. So yeah. Alright, so I've done my research like before, and I'm a loyal one. So I'm literally just using one hamster sand for my hamsters, and which is the reptile sand, which most of you already know, which is called the Zoomed reptile sand, all natural. This is mainly because this is the only reptile sand here in the universe that has no calcium and no chemicals and no dyes included. And yes, if you want this, you need to get the exact one, and you can only get this on Amazon. Since this is some informative video, let's try to cut down everything so that you'll be able to understand why you should only literally only get this exact sand if you're choosing a reptile sand. Okay, so as I mentioned, most reptile sands are mixed with calcium, aka calcium carbonate. Is actually very toxic for the hamsters because it mostly has chemicals in it. That is why it's toxic for hamsters. It's common sense right now. So yeah, so if you're paying attention on your science classes, calcium carbonate is actually a chemical compound. Whenever you hear calcium, you're like, ooh, that's safe, that's good. For hamsters, nope, it's not good. So calcium carbonate is often used as a dietary supplement. This is for us humans, it's a way for us to relieve heartburn, acid indigestion, and whenever we have an upset stomach. So that's what calcium carbonate does. But if we're talking about calcium carbonate in a sand, that is very toxic for the hamsters because texture is a red flag already, because when you touch the calcium carbonate, it's actually very dusty and powdery, which most of you already know that it causes respiratory issues for the hamsters. And remember, hamsters are very small, so when they're very small, they have very small respiratory system. So yes, that's what I meant when I say calcium is very toxic for hamsters when we're talking about sands. So yes, there you go. And I also heard that I don't really own reptiles, but I heard from some other resources that even reptile owners don't use other reptile sands that includes calcium in it because it's actually harmful for the reptiles as well. So that's what I'm saying, it's dangerous for them. And don't ask me why companies made these products that are harmful for animals, because like I said, when a company makes money out of something and it works for them, they don't give a damn. That's why they keep on doing it. So yes, that's how business works in the real world, honestly, and unfortunately that's just how they work. Okay, so this next sand that I'm going to show you is actually very interesting for me because my friend Audrey actually informed me about this. She's actually one of my partners as well, so she was the one who informed me that this, oh wow, that this is safe for the hamsters as well. She said that she found this when she was starting handling hamsters. She found this information on Facebook forums, I think, Facebook groups about hamsters who are taking care of hamsters. So yeah, thank you so much, Aubrey, for telling me about this. It's really interesting. This one is called Supernatural Premium Aquarium Substrate. If you want to get this, make sure to get the exact same thing. In the package itself, it says no artificial dyes or paints or to flake off or whatever. That's how it said there. You can buy this on Petco. I think I bought this on Petco. Yeah, you can you can buy this on Petco. I don't remember how much, but because it's been a while when I bought this. So for the next one, I actually had experience on using this one. So going back to reptile sands, remember what I said for the reptile sands, that's literally the only one that has no calcium in it. Scratch that. There's actually like another one, but I don't really recommend it, but I'm telling you guys that it can be safe for the hamsters because I already used this. It's just that I don't like it, but I'm just letting you know just in case. It's called, I got this from Petco. So this one is called Natural Dune. So it's also a sand bath for reptiles, and you can use this for a hamster because I experienced using this. So the reason why I'm not really recommending this one is because of the texture itself. Like it's kind of rocky, but not that rocky. It's kind of rough, but it's fine for your hamster's fur. Like I said, I've tried this before. I didn't really see any reactions for it for the hamsters. I checked their fur and they're fine. There's no whatever. I'm just letting you know that this can be safe for hamsters if you have no other choice. And then the fourth one is actually from Amazon, and this is very interesting for me because let me just open this. It looks like this. Okay, before you panic, let me just tell you about this. When I saw how Night Angel has their own sand bath, I was like, ooh. But when I saw what is included in there, it said they included a low percentage of pumice powder in there, and I'm like, oh no, it was like that. So I ignored that product of theirs because I already know that pumice powder is actually bad for the hamsters because it's in the name itself. Like whenever you're going to find safe sand for hamsters, always remember to not take everything that says powder or dust. So that's what you're going to avoid whenever you're looking for a hamster sand for your hamster. So I was like, oh no, why? So like I said, I ignored it, and then I think a couple of months I saw Night Angel's post on Instagram, and they said that they're listening to their customers and they decided to remove the pumice powder in the ingredient of their sand like completely out. So I'm like, yes. So that's when I ordered already. Yeah, this is the Night Angel desert sand. I'm gonna put a screenshot over there if I haven't showed it yet. Okay, so the next one and the final one is actually very, very heavy. Let me just try to lift it up. Oh, shit. Okay, so yes, play sand. So for the play sand, I heard that most hamster owners who are on a budget are choosing this type of sand, this play sand, because it's actually cheap. You won't believe me if I said this thing, like it's $4 or $5 in Home Depot. But if you're going to get this on Amazon, I think it's around 20-ish something. I think I'm not sure, but I'm gonna put a screenshot over here for Amazon. But I got this from Home Depot. Children's play sand is considered safe for the hamsters, but it's going to give you an amount of work to do because the sand itself, like, you need to sterilize it by baking. So yeah, you need to bake it in your oven to kill off the living bacteria in it. Like, the process for this is, for me, I don't like to use this because it makes me work more and I don't have that kind of time, so I'm like, okay, whatever. But since this is an informative video, I need to talk to you guys about it so that you'll decide yourself if you want to try the children's reptile sand for your hamster. So the reason that you need to bake it is to, like I said, to sterilize it, to kill off the bacteria and microorganisms that's living in it. And then when I said you need to bake it, like literally you need to bake it, and at the same time you need to dry it as well. The reason why children's play sand is safe for hamsters because it's non-toxic and it's hypoallergenic for the hamsters, any type of rodents, which make it safe for them, for the gerbils as well. So for the next thing that I want to talk about for the children's play sand is that one, it's a lot of process for you as a hamster to work on to make it sanitized and to make it double safe for a hamster. And two is because there will be a risk for your hamster as well, because I know a follower of mine, a friend of mine as well on IG, her name is Michelle. So Michelle was actually using children's play sand fund that I have right now for her hamster, and she observed that her hamster is having allergic reactions. So basically the hamster kept on sneezing and stuff. So alright, so before you say something, I know that I mentioned that children's play sand, specifically that what I showed you guys, is hypoallergenic for any type of rodents. But in Michelle's hamster's case, her hamster named Sandora is just sensitive with the children's play sand, because you will see later when I'm going to sift out the children's play sand after I bake it. So Sandora is okay. She's just sensitive with type of sands, and I'm just letting you guys know about this just in case you have the same situation as Michelle's. Michelle told me that she already took Sandora to the vet, and the vet said that there's nothing wrong with Sandora. She's just sensitive with type of sands. So I recommended her the reptile sand, and when she tried the reptile sand, it actually had a good effect on her hamster. So she said that it's just making her hamster sneezes less than the children's play sand. So that's what I want to throw out there in you guys, to let you know that if you're using the play sand, please keep in mind that it can be risky for a hamster, like what happened to my friend Michelle's hamster. So I'm saying that it is safe, but it can't be safe for like every hamster, because every hamster has their own health. It's like for us people, like for me, I'm allergic to seafood. So, and my brother isn't allergic to seafood, so it's kind of like that kind of analogy. Now I want to show you guys the texture itself. So what I'm planning to do, so that you guys will see, is that I bought like Pyrex, I don't know how you call this, but yeah, going to show you guys the texture so that you'll be able to see how it is. Before we start with this thing, I want to tell you guys how you're going to store your sand, and which is very important for you, because you don't want to put it in the bag itself and just put it in a rubber band. Like, come on, you can do better than that. So what I do is that I put my hamster's sand bath in this container. Container is actually the pub mix. I got that from Costco, and when I finished that off, like I reused it and put it and use it as a hamster sand container. So this is what it's like, and I just did the label, whatever. But yeah, if you can't find this container exactly, don't worry. You can go to Daiso and you can actually find containers like that. So I got this from Daiso. It's actually good because it has its own opening thingy, and I find it cool, and it's airtight, if you hear that. So basically you can use any containers as long as it's airtight. Just show you guys like what I'm using, so just in case you have access to that as well. Since I told you how to store your hamster sand into containers, pretty sure most of you are asking me what you can use for your hamster to use in their enclosure. So of course I'm also ready with that, and I have it here. Let me just open it up. Okay, so this is the Night Angel container that you can use for a hamster. For Shoyan, he's using like kind of the same thing, but it's just like without this platform, and it's kind of widened as well. If you're on a budget, you can use what I'm using right now. Like for Shoyan, it's this one. So it's literally for like storing your thing, like for your drawers. It's an organizer, and I was like, oh, I can use that for Shoyan's hamster bath. This was when Night Angel hasn't have this yet. I've seen that Casper is also awake. I can show you what I'm using for him. You can also use something like this. It looks like a cat litter, a small one. I got this from Amazon as well. So this is Mino's cage. I also have this one. I also got this from Amazon, but for Mino, he likes to make this one as his nesting area because it's what he like to do. We're going to start with this one now. So this is the reptile sand. It looks like this, and as you can see, it's really soft. And if you hold it, it has that sand texture thingy. And then this is going to be the aquarium sand. So it's pretty much the same. It's pretty much the same thing for the reptile sand, the Zoomed. And if you touch it, it's really soft. So that's a good sign for your hamster. It's not gonna give them irritation for their fur. And then this one is the dune sand, the other reptile sand that I talked about. You're gonna see why I don't like it is because look how kind of rocky texture it has, and when you touch it, it's like you're holding salt, kind of like that kind of. It's like a soft salt basically. So that's why I don't like it, but it's going to be safe for a hamster. For the last one that I can show you guys is the Night Angel sand, the desert sand, which is it's actually soft, very soft. It's softer than the aquarium sand, so that's interesting. So yeah, very nice. Okay, so we're going to test how soft this can be. This is the aquarium sand, almost alike as the reptile sand, the zoom in. This is the Night Angel one. It's a desert sand, but it's surprisingly soft. Like, it's softer than the first two. This is the dune sand, the other reptile sand that I don't really like, but it's still safe for the hamster. I hear the rocks. This is the children's play sand that you haven't sanitized yet, so you haven't baked this yet. So yeah, that is why you need to sanitize this first by baking and drying. So please don't give this to your hamster without doing those methods yet.
Okay, so after baking the children's play sand for 350 Fahrenheit for 30 minutes, I left it for 20 minutes to cool down, and I sifted out the sand and I threw away the rocky texture, and I just kept the ones that's left, which is the sanitized sand, and I also put it in a container. And when I was feeling the sand itself, it's a little dusty, and I just want you guys to know about that just in case. And this is the part that I'm telling you guys that it can be risky for a hamster, just like what happened to Michelle's hamster.
Alright guys, that's it for this video, and I hope that this video is helpful for you and very informative as well. If you have more questions, just ask me on my IG at ArtPandasTique, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel at ArtPandasTique as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much for the support. Bye!